Good morning, everyone, and welcome into Local4’s 4 things you need to know to start your day. Today is Monday, February 24th. It's a very busy day in the legislature today, so we're actually going to just be focusing on just some of the things they're going to be talking about. So let's go ahead and jump into it. The first thing we're going to be talking about is LB 258. That's in the Business and Labor Committee, and that's going to be discussing changes to the Minimum Wage and Hour Act. It was brought by Lincoln Senator Jane Raybould. The bill would set new standards for how the minimum wage is calculated each year. Originally, starting in 2027, the minimum wage in Nebraska would increase by the same amount as the cost of living that year. However, this bill caps that raise at 1.5%. So if the cost of living increased by 1.3% in a year, then that's how much the minimum wage would increase. However, if the cost of living increased by 2%, which is what the Federal Reserve tries to keep this number at, minimum wage would only raise by 1.5%. LB 258 also sets a lower minimum wage for younger workers with employees between 14 and 16 years old, not emancipated, making just $13.50 an hour. There's also a training wage for new employees that is also set at $13.50 until 2027, when it will be changed to 75% of the state's minimum wage. The bill does provide protections for workers by saying that hours cannot be cut from full-time employees and given to trainees in order to cut costs. Employers are also not allowed to fire workers with the intention of finding a new employee to pay the training wage instead of a full wage employee. The bill also stipulates that no more than 1/4 of the total hours paid by the employer shall be at the training wage. If you'd like to comment on LB 258, the deadline for commenting online has already passed, but you can still comment in person. That meeting is going to be held today at the Capitol in room 2102. The hearing is at 1:30. That is going to be the last thing they discuss at today's hearing. And switching gears over into the Education Committee, another bill that is sure to draw the eyes of the public is LB 691. That bill would require schools to display the 10 commandments in each elementary school classroom and the buildings of middle and high schools. The bill would require any school that is receiving state funding, including public, private, denominational, and parochial schools. That bill also stipulates the commandments need to be displayed on a poster or framed document that is at least 11 inches by 14 inches in an easy-to-read font. Hastings Senator Dan Lanuski is a co-sponsor of this bill. Also in the Education Committee, they're going to be taking a look at placing federal and state mottos in schools. This is LB 122. It's just a one-page bill that would require the federal motto, "In God We Trust," and the Nebraska motto, "Equity Under the Law," to be prominently displayed in schools. These would need to be on a plaque or poster that is at least 8.5 by 11 inches. The mottos would need to be displayed in a prominent place in each school building so that students are able to, quote, see and read it each day the school is in session. The bill does allow the state government to repay the costs incurred by the school to produce these plaques and posters. LB 122 was introduced by District 17's Glenn Meyer and is also co-sponsored by Hastings Senator Dan Lanuski. And the fourth and final bill we're going to be taking a look at today is LB 549. It was introduced by Central City's Lauren Lippincott. It gives schools the ability to hire chaplains, which the bill says would not be considered an endorsement of a specific religion by the school. The bill allows these chaplains to provide support in academics, career, and emotional as well as behavioral health. These chaplains are not required to hold a certificate to teach, administer, or perform special services in the state. LB 549 allows the school to hire a chaplain or find a volunteer chaplain, but does not require them to do so. And these are just a few of the bills that the Education Committee is going to be hearing today. We also have one about students learning the flag code as well as modifying how students learn about embryos. So very wide variety of issues to be talked about today. If you'd like to speak about any of those, you can do so at the Education Committee's meeting today. That's going to be in the Capitol at room 1525, and that will start at 1:30. Now let's go ahead and get a check of the forecast here. Wow, it is nice and warm outside. Temperatures getting up into the mid-60s today. Really, we've seen these temperatures constantly overperforming where we have been over the past few days, so it wouldn't surprise me. I know it says we're maxing at 61. I wouldn't be surprised to see 64, 65 maybe even 66, 67, depending on where you are. Now, as we look at the next couple of days, though, those temperatures continue to rise. We do have a slight chance of some showers, maybe a rumble of thunder Tuesday night into Wednesday morning. Notice we're also approaching springtime, which means we're going to be exceptionally breezy over the next couple of days, so be prepared for that. Temperatures maxing out in the mid to high 60s throughout the week, with a cool down coming on Saturday, but then we're warming back up again Sunday. However, at day 10, which is farther out than this goes, at day 10 we do see temperatures start to slide down to back below average with a high of around 41. Now again, it's 10 days away. Basically anything past 7 is magical. So I don't want to be saying, hey, we're going to be seeing a cool down, we're going to be seeing snow. But there is that chance we do see some of that precipitation out in the distant future. That is going to do it for me. Thank you so much for watching Local 4's 4 Things You Need to Know to start off your day. I'm Ian Mason. We'll have the latest news right back here at 11:30, 5, 6, and 10. Have a great one.
In the